Save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
The voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.
All right, Johnson County. This is the JoCo voice, and I'm your host, Mike Wilshire. We are coming to you live here from Burleson at our station. It is November 15th, 2023, and I got a little news for everybody. I've been asked to cover the Jerry Don Elders case. Jerry Don Elders is the individual that shot and killed a lady in a carjacking. He also shot a police officer here in Burleson. His trial, I managed to get in touch with the courthouse and figure out what's going on. He's not going to be out on bail. He's currently in the Johnson County Jail. He's not going to get loose anytime soon. His trial starts on, so that would be April 15th of 2024. He is set for a jury trial at 9 a.m. on that date. If you want to mark it down on your calendar, so if anybody's wanting to know. Now, moving on from the bad news, we're going to move on to some good news. I have in the studio with me Becky Hightower. How are you, Becky?
I'm doing great.
You are with the
Thank
Bread
you.
Connection.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So and we get to pick on me for a little bit. Whenever I reached out to you for the Bread Connection, I'm like, is it a bakery? Will you bring samples? You know, I'm trying to break the ice and bring out some laughter in you. And boy, did I ever, huh?
Yeah. It was funny that in that email, that text, it's like, well, how early do bakers have to get up?
Right.
And was that your favorite thing to do?
Yeah.
No, cooking is one of my least favorite things to do.
But the Bread Connection is not a bakery.
Not a bakery.
You are a food bank.
We are a food bank. We're a distributing warehouse.
Okay. And you're distributing locally to the Johnson County area?
To Johnson County area, throughout Cleburne, Burleson, Venus, to Glen Rose, to Fort Worth. It's wherever the need is. Wherever there's a need.
And this is this is a labor intensive job. I mean, there's a lot of lifting, 50 pounds. You're moving all kinds of food, right?
Well, we've only had a forklift for about not quite a year. So all of that stuff was hand done.
Before you were the forklift, right? And
exactly.
You and the husband, right?
Yep.
And so let's go back. Let's go all the way back. Now, your husband retired. You're from Texas. You were born and raised here in Texas, moved all around, and came to Cleburne in about what year?
1980.
1980.
Yeah.
This one horse town, right?
Yeah.
And you
That
said
was
back then there was trailers just lined up
Yep.
on Saturdays
And-
going to the sale barn.
Yep. And our kids were going to be Jeremiah Johnson.
We're out here in the woods all alone.
Huckleberry Finn and Jeremiah Johnson. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
and husband worked for Lockheed Martin
Yes.
and retired what year?
In 2013.
And you two made a decision that y'all were not just going to sit there in retired life.
No, we
Do
we
nothing.
always did something.
Mhm.
You know, it's always involved in some type of church work or church activity. But then this just slowly grew, and today we have 2 vehicles and the forklift, and I mean it's a real deal.
Right. And the bread connection,
Yes.
tell me about the name. Where did the name come
Where
from?
the name came from, because when we would be going delivering, you know, you're ringing the buzzer or something, and you go, well, we're here with these groceries. Now, Brandy, we need a name. And so this is a service work. That's how we've felt about this from the very beginning. And even all of our volunteers, they feel that way also, because it is the joy out of, well, they think it's fun. Yeah, you're going to sweat your tail off at 107 degrees or in the summer and in the winter with the coat and the toboggans and the gloves.
And the scripture you base this on?
Okay. The bread is another name for Jesus. Well, it just kind of hit me one day. I can't remember. If you read the Bible, you'll find this verse. It's in John.
Right.
That Jesus says that he is the bread of life. And so the bread is another name for Jesus. And through this service work, our prayer is that it connects you to Christ. So bread connection.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where the name, that's where it all started, right?
Right.
And so that was back 2015?
Probably
about there. Okay. And then we talked about y'all were hauling all this stuff around by yourselves in what originally?
This 2013 short bed pickup.
Right. And that wasn't going to work. That had to.
It took a lot of loads.
Right.
A lot of trips, a lot of gas. And at that time, everything was out of Randy's and Becky's Social Security.
Right.
You know, but in 2019, we filed and became an official 501(c)(3). We have a board. It has come together through donations and fundraising, and people, hey, I want a piece of that. I want to be a part of that. That we have a good bank account because of
it's
it.
It's making a dent. You're currently right now, you're delivering to how many campuses that you would think total?
I wish I had
Probably 10 more.
When you say campuses, what does that mean?
Well, like you're delivering to Crazy 8 Ministries has 2 different
all the
locations.
Entities.
Yeah, all the entities you're delivering to, would you say it's 10, 15?
Oh, probably more than that.
And y'all now have a van that a church donated to you.
No, that 99 Chevy van. I mean, we all have knots on the top of our head from bumping your head on the roof, you know. But we got a grant, and we have a 2023 van that's you can stand up and walk around in.
Okay.
You know.
So it's a big panel van that you can like a U-Haul almost kind of thing.
Well,
door
it's just
that goes
a big
up.
van. You
big
see
van.
like Amazon.
Amazon.
Drives.
Oh, okay. Like one of those. Okay.
And then we have a box truck.
Right. And y'all are delivering to Crazy 8 Ministries. You do Southwestern Adventist College, their food pantry. You go to Glen Rose, your Happy Hills School. Right.
The Crisis Center, East Cleburne Community Center. I mean, I don't.
Tell me about the one that you were talking about where the ladies are there with their children, and it's a battered woman shelter.
That's the Crisis Center.
That's the Crisis Center. And that's 25, roughly 27.
There's probably that many
mouths to feed plus children.
Yes.
And
they keep a house full
that's
all the time.
That's sad.
Yep.
Right. That just,
The crisis center also does classes and helps these people get back on their feet, and maybe you need a lawyer,
right.
and they also do other classes out there also for
Right.
parenting classes.
Put that mic up close to
They
you.
do parenting classes also. But they were our very first clients, I guess you would say, to deliver groceries to since 2015. And every Monday we're there.
Right.
Mhm.
And this is a place that the prerequisite to get in there is somebody had to beat you up pretty much.
Pretty much.
And you
the
went through a
police,
bad,
the police bring you in.
the police bring you
Mhm,
in
mhm,
to get you away from the
mhm.
situation that you're in.
You had to be buzzed in. There's a high fence with razor wire around
I guess the only reason why
building,
you probably
Mhm.
don't cry is because you're doing something rewarding and they're probably happy to see it, because that would be just tragic for me to have to go in
well,
there.
we like to give them our best.
Right.
Look at this pretty cake. We
Mhm.
probably were not ever allowed to
Right.
have anything like that.
Right.
You know,
And this is
Mhm.
probably first time in a long time, if not ever.
but I mean, we treat everyone special.
Sure.
You
Sure.
know, everywhere we go.
And so you deal with
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
That's the younger probably version of, and then you have all the way to the elderly that
Our senior apartments.
and
Mhm.
folks that can't get
Mhm.
out, can't go
Mhm.
shop on their own, can't
Mhm.
grocery shop.
Mhm.
You actually deliver to situations where guys are fresh out of prison
Yep.
that are on a tether. They've got the
Yep.
bracelet and they can't leave their house.
At No Turning Back Ministries.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
these are not guys that were in there for 6 months. These are guys that are in there 15 years and
Or longer.
longer and
Yep.
readjusting to
Mhm.
society.
Mhm.
Can't get out of the door, but somebody's got to
Mhm.
feed them.
Mhm.
Somewhere or another, there's got to be some food coming in, or
Mhm.
else God knows what they'd do. I mean, when you starve to death or break the law in
Yeah.
order to get,
Yep.
you're
Yep.
breaking the law to go to the
Well,
grocery store.
it's supposed to be helpful,
Sure.
and they are. Well, it was a couple of months ago. All of the guys, we were at one of the houses, and these couple of guys came out just smiling and so happy, and they had a card that that everyone from No Turning Back Ministries had signed,
Hmm.
and they all pulled their money and got Randy and Becky a gift card, $100 gift card.
Wow.
And they said, "This does not go to the Bread Connection. We want
This
y'all to go out,
go do something
go
with this
do
gift
something."
card, huh?
Yes.
What y'all do?
We ate on it 3 times.
There you, I know, right? You didn't go
Yeah.
one time. You ate
No,
on it
I
3
made that
times.
stretch.
Isn't that
Yeah.
funny that there
Yeah.
would have been a time where I probably
Mhm.
would have went, oh, I'm going to Texas de la Brazil. Now I'm like,
Mhm.
no, this is 3 nights worth of
Mhm.
4
Yeah.
nights worth of.
And then we had to report to them where we went and what
Oh,
we did with it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these some big strong men that are,
Mhm.
that are,
Mhm.
and you said they're just tickled pink when y'all get there
Oh, yes.
because they're going to get to
Mhm.
eat,
Yes.
and before it's
Mhm.
over and done with. Now,
Mhm.
oh God, there was so much that we talked about earlier, and I want to make sure
Mm.
that I hit all the highlights. But before I forget, tell me about what the Christmas thing is that's coming up.
Oh, coming up, it's called the Christmas Feast.
Hmm.
It's one of our, I guess, a pretty good sized project that we're going to get into. Um, Fernando Rodriguez, that he owns APOS Western Wear. He just, if you say Fernando, everyone's going to know who you're talking about. But him and Michelle Rodriguez started this. This will be 11th year, where you put on a meal for Christmas Day,
Hmm.
and it's your low income, you're homeless, or whoever can't afford to or be able to have a Christmas meal.
Hmm.
And we'll have a Santa Claus there, and toys are starting to be collected, so kids can have some toys on Christmas Day and enjoy a meal. But Bread Connection this year is going to, we're going to bring in we're going to give out bags of groceries
Okay.
so that they'll have a meal. They're having a meal Christmas Day, but what about tomorrow?
Right.
What about the next day?
Right.
So
And y'all are going to provide them with a bag of groceries to keep them going for
Well,
on down the
school's
road a
out.
little bit. Yeah.
School will be out for, and you're going to have to be fixing more meals.
And you guys didn't stop. I try to explain to people that this need didn't stop during COVID. You still had to go out.
We kept going.
Masking up, gloving up, sanitizing as much as you can to not get
Mhm.
yourself sick as well as getting other people sick.
Right.
You said there was a jar of sanitizer there and pretty much bathed with it when you came out.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
sanitizer coming out your ears by the time
Mhm.
it was done,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And you were going and having some of these people can't even get up out of to really get the groceries
No, you
at the
talk about
door.
little seniors. Yeah.
Right.
You're going to carry it in, and there was even a couple of them that you had to put their groceries up for them.
Right.
You
Because
know.
they just can't get around.
Yeah.
Even to.
And most of the time, individuals like that will have a caretaker come in. But it hadn't always been like that. It's getting that way more now.
Yes.
Last year it wasn't.
Right.
We're having companies that, and I guess insurance, or they're being paid out of pocket. But there's that will have a caretaker come and help you in your house.
Right.
But no, we're probably, if you didn't stop and talk to them, you're the only
conversation that they'd have.
Human beings that
really
I'm able to speak with, and they will jab your ears off and want to tell you about them. And you sit there and listen, and they know that we'll pray. You're asked, will you pray for me? Well, yeah, we're going to stop. We'll stop right here and pray.
Right. Right.
Yep.
And in doing this, I got to pick on you for this one. You look young.
Oh, thank you.
No, it's
you're going to be my best friend,
right? And your husband's 74. You're 71 years old. You're carrying on quicker and better than I can.
Well,
that's for sure, because I have the back of like a 900-year-old man from the military. I mean, I got old man back, and I all the wear and tear of the military has taken its toll. And I tell people, but you got to stay active, even though you're in pain. You have to do something and stay active, because we're not horses. They don't shoot us after we get lame. We have to keep. You haven't slowed down yet, have you?
No, I don't want to either.
Right.
But that being said, Bread Connection had said that we go through about 25 volunteers a month. We can always use more.
Sure. And
we
plug
always need more.
Plug your brand. Plug your brand for me real quick.
My
what? Plug your Facebook. It's on the Bread Connection.
Oh yeah.
On Facebook, and y'all have the breadconnection.org.
breadconnection.org.
Okay.
Where you could message us through that, or message through our Facebook, or my phone number. Do I give that out?
Yeah, you can give it out. There's someone asking right now online. Shelly Smith said, "How does one become a volunteer, and what types of things would a volunteer do with Bread Connection?"
Well, we start out at 7 a.m. Every morning. Lifting, you're running around, coming and going. Like I said, we don't normally deal on the one-on-one unless we're delivering groceries to an apartment complex, or it's when you're delivering. Be able to run and go a lot.
Right. Right.
But just show up at 7.
Just show up at 7 and put you to work. Where they show up? Where's the Bread Connection at?
408 West Henderson.
Okay. And go ahead and say your phone number.
817-239-4547.
And you answer that phone. I can tell you right now, you answer that phone. Whenever I call you, there's a lot of noise going on behind you, and you are busy.
Yeah.
And I can tell people are talking to you while you're talking to me, but you answer that phone. And that's something that I tell people on anything that I'm doing business with, or that I interview. I always like to pride myself on the fact that whenever I called this business, someone answered the phone right there.
Oh, a human voice.
Yes. And it was not an automated service, and it didn't have to wait. I mean, God love them, but the police department still, when you call them, they, for this number, hit 1, for this number, hit 2. There's so many different places that when you call, You have to go through that. I don't know if you've called Walgreens recently.
No.
But, oh my Lord. You call these
Yep.
pharmacies.
And then you forget, what did they say? Push what number by the time they get to the last?
Heck, I forget what I called them for. I forget what
mhm.
I'm even supposed to be doing whenever I call them.
No, I'll answer. But the main thing, whatever works with your schedule, we try to get through. It depends upon what day of the week it is. Some days it's a very long day. Some days it's a short day.
Right.
It's what I mean. I keep a calendar and a daily log of where we go, what we're going to be doing. And if you start early, you get to go home early. Yeah.
Right.
But
if one of my listeners wanted to write you a check, they make it out to the breadconnection.org or bread connection. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sitting there.
Yeah.
Do not make it out to her website. I'm sorry. And you
Yeah,
can drop that check off
yeah.
here at the station and we'll get it to her.
Excuse me.
Or
408
we will,
West Henderson.
408 West Henderson,
Yeah,
whichever
yeah.
one's closer. I promise you, we're not going to run off with your check.
Okay.
We're not in the check washing business. I watched that
That's funny.
that Leonardo DiCaprio Catch Me If You Can, where they were washing people's checks. We're not in that business. We will get your donations to you. You're a nonprofit organization.
Yes, we are.
You're I would estimate, just from my numbers, well over 200 people are touched by what y'all are doing
daily, if not more.
Because you're going all these places all the time.
Our oldest volunteer is 77. He
Good
comes
Lord.
on Wednesdays and Fridays. He texted me this big long thing about he wanted to say that it was fun. He enjoyed doing it, and he hoped more people would get in on it.
At 77,
Yes.
I think more people should be able to get in on it when a 77-year-old man is running around doing it. What's your youngest volunteer? How old's one of your youngest ones?
21.
21?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And that's Luke. He's been with us probably about a year and a half. He came to us through Texas Workforce, has a program for like special needs individuals. It's a 12-week program, and you're doing like job training. And of course, then they get paid. We're not paying them. But we do not have a paid staff. Everything is volunteer. Even me. And
he's doing this
Randy.
through Texas Workforce for the special needs. Yeah.
But he was with us then. That was over a year ago. He did his time there. He got a job at Albertsons. He's been there for over a year. But on his days off, his 2 days off a week, he's there at Bread Connection.
Oh, doggone.
Yeah. And we're on our fourth individual through this Texas Workforce.
Okay.
And they're just precious.
Right.
We have Seth with us right now.
Right.
And he's Mr. Personality is who he is.
Does he even know he's working? Or does he? I have so many friends that I don't even think they know they're working. Whenever
we keep telling him how proud we are, and you're doing a good job with this and a good job with that, and
it's got to be rewarding.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Does it take a little more time? Yeah, but it's worth it.
Right.
Because that individual, I'm now making a paycheck.
Right.
And that's helping him be able to maybe move on where he can get a job and feel like he's worthwhile of getting a job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was a little man named Luke that worked at the Albertsons where we were. And I swear to God, he tried harder and harder to push more carts that he could up into that Albertsons every day. And I was like, man, you got to break them off at 10 or 15 because you just it looked like the Incredible Hulk trying to move a car or something.
Was he a big guy?
He was a stocky guy. He was short. He was short.
Luke's tall.
No, ours was named Luke, and this is down in Houston. And he was you said the name, and I was like, oh gosh, that's what I remember ours down there. But I swear he tried to push more and more of them carts on. I bet you he had legs like solid rocks, down there by the time he was done working there. So
we're going to be having a volunteer and board Christmas party on December the 3rd. And they're all, I'm going to have a nice party for them because they all deserve it.
Good.
We have some good volunteers.
And there was something else that we talked about, me being a little country boy. We didn't waste food. y'all don't waste food either.
No.
What you
that's
can't
what we're about.
actually give away,
Mhm.
that goes off to
Other food banks.
other food banks.
Other food pantries.
But even
Mhm.
if it is too bad for that, it goes to animals.
Yes. Yep.
Right. It goes to the.
We call them live. Well, we have a goat man.
Yeah, I was like, well, we
Yeah.
called it slopping hogs when I was a kid. This goes to the hogs. This goes to
Yeah.
the chickens.
So we like to call them the livestock feeders.
The
Yeah.
livestock feeders.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
that sounds
Mhm.
more. That sounds
Yeah.
better. I don't think I don't think
Is
any
that the
animals will hold it.
politically correct
Yeah,
way?
I don't think animals will be offended by us
Yeah.
saying that now,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
You know,
sorry.
I don't think the farmers actually. I don't think the cowboys really care what we call them as long as we give them that stuff,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
I don't think they'll actually be offended. Okay.
And they love fruit.
Oh,
I
oh,
mean,
oh yeah.
cows love fruit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Delicacy.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Horses, cows.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
We used
Mhm.
to go and feed this little horse.
Mhm.
He's a miniature quarter horse
Mhm.
named Dusty,
Mhm.
and I guess he's kind of borderline diabetic, so I couldn't give him apples anymore,
Uh-oh.
and I had to give him carrots, and he was a
Mhm.
little upset with me
Mhm.
about the carrots at
Mhm.
first. He grew to like them,
Mhm.
but yeah, a horse is upset with you when he shows you his butt and won't turn around and look at you and just.
Oh
I'm not going
gosh.
to pay attention to you right
Mhm.
now because
Mhm.
and
You're
he was
not
a lot of
feeding
fun.
me right.
Not
Yeah.
feeding me the
Mhm.
apple that you
Mhm.
used to feed me,
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't
Mhm.
doubt that they probably and
Mhm.
so the food you guys get is stuff that's about to go to the trash.
Yeah.
Y'all get it before it's expiring, right as it's
Well,
expiring,
the
and then you hand it out
grocery
immediately.
stores, it'll have today's date on it
Mhm.
because in the store they can't sell anything that's got the day old
Right.
stuff on it, but it's still in great condition.
I know it is because
Mhm.
my mama, she fed us
Mhm.
stuff that was day old, 2 day
Well,
old.
if you opened your refrigerator up, you're going to probably find something in there that's about 10 days out of that date,
And
but
I
you're still
sure will
eating
eat
it.
it. I sure will.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I
Mhm.
got a ketchup bottle that's been expired for a long time that I'm still using at the house
Mhm.
because it don't smell bad to me.
Well, that's all you got. Does it have mold on it? Does it smell good or does it have spots?
Right, right. That's when you
Yeah.
got this
Then it's
ketchup has
mhm.
turned.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
when you know.
Yeah.
All right,
Mhm.
coming up, I've got Trinity King out there with Babbie Sue King. You got to meet them; they're characters, right?
Mhm. They're
That's
great.
that was fun. They're
Cute
fun.
girl.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
and she's
Mhm.
talented. You get to
Mhm.
hear her sing.
Mhm.
You tune in for the next time they do a charity event or something.
Okay.
We're doing a fundraiser. She's so much fun. She gets up there, sings her little heart out,
Mhm.
covers the older music too that we loved.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
back in the day type stuff.
Mhm.
She does the Leanne Rhymes Blue, and she'll do a couple other the old ones. And
Mhm.
got her mom up there yodeling with her,
Oh, that's
singing
interesting. Yeah.
one
Yeah.
that's your mama yodeled. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was fun. That was
Mhm.
put her mama on
Mhm.
the spot on that one, right? She's like,
Cool.
"Come on, mama, get
Mhm.
up here!" Just out of the blue,
That's cool. Yeah.
totally got her.
Yeah.
And again,
Mm.
if anyone wants to volunteer,
Yes.
it's the Bread Connection.
Connection.
That's
408 West Henderson.
hmm
Mhm.
and
7 a.m.
7 a.m.
Yeah. Let's
and
go.
right, and
Uh-huh.
I mean, I found you
Mhm.
literally. You came up on a Facebook feed. You're out there, and as
Mhm.
people, so I liked it, and I
Mhm.
follow you now,
Mhm. Thank
and
you.
I try to tell everyone if you see something, like it, follow
Mhm.
it, because
Mhm.
every little bit of your edge rank that we give you, everybody,
Mhm.
the way the algorithms work, everyone
Mhm.
follows you a little bit more.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
going to get more out there for more people,
Mhm.
for the
Mhm.
needy,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you'll take checks, cash, right?
Right.
Any way
Uh-huh.
you guys want.
Mhm.
I always
Mhm.
laugh because a food
Mhm.
bank and
Mhm.
a food pantry, that's what they need is fresh food or
Mhm.
money. That's
Mhm.
the things that would
Yes, sir.
fund it.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Becky Hightower, thank you for coming in
Thank you for
tonight.
inviting me. I appreciate it.
Johnson County, stick around. We got
Right.
Trinity King coming back in here with Babbie Sue.
Mhm.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
You're listening to JoCo Community Radio.
All right, Johnson County. We're back here in the studio. JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoCo.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch. And the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store, check out our lineup and more at JoCoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-839-4245. And be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. Now, I got my two favorites in here. I got Trinity King with Babbie Sue King in here with me in the studio. How are you ladies doing?
Excellent.
Oh, I did it again, Babbie.
Oh.
I did it again. I clipped you. I might clipped you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm excellent.
How you doing, Trinity?
I'm good.
How has your week been? I updated everyone, but I want you to say it. You raised good money for the rodeo.
I have. I've raised really good money.
And then you won an event.
I did. I won walk-up goat tying this weekend.
First place.
At North Texas. First place.
And that's gonna go back into the pot.
Yep.
For everything that you're doing. That money's building up.
Mm-hmm.
As you win, you're gonna put it back into it.
Yes, sir.
How's the business going? How's the clothing? Y'all still doing the
Well, now that
boutique?
she's that singing thing is kind of kicking off pretty well.
So you are busy.
Yeah, I think we're going to put the clothing thing on hold.
Okay.
Yeah, because she has to practice. Practice makes perfect.
In both rodeo and in your singing.
Right. And her and her band have been doing a lot of practicing, and I can see a big difference in the first time they went in there. And of course, she's practiced with her grandpa since she was little bitty.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you practice singing. You haven't practiced shows.
Right.
Now we're getting you into shows. And now you're going to be a performer, and you're going to be, how the shows are going to work. And
my dad did come to when she was singing at Logan's, and he reminded me of something that I'd forgotten. And it's really kind of a cute story. I didn't even share it with Trinity. I don't know if she'll remember or not. She's getting kind of worried. She's thinking, oh my God, what's Granny about to share?
Oh, we're about to get into the tea here in a minute.
Okay.
We're going to get into some good stuff in a minute, but go ahead.
This was pretty cute. It was a long time ago. We had a family reunion, and Trinity was probably about, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, something like that. And this big building we were having the family reunion in, it was divided into 2 parts. And we rented one part for our family reunion. And another family, which we had no idea who they were, they rented the other half of the building for their family reunion. And their half had a stage. But they were all sitting around eating and doing their thing. And we're in our half, our family's in our half. And all of a sudden, we hear Trinity and we don't see her anywhere, but she wandered over into the other family reunion, crawled up on their stage and started singing for them.
How old was she?
She was about 6 years old.
Oh, I love it.
I don't remember that.
They were maybe she was about 4 then. If you don't remember, you was
killed
about
And
4.
I remember a lot of stuff, but
You
I don't
killed
remember
it,
that.
probably.
Yeah, and they were clapping and they were so excited. So I don't even remember if it was me or Lindsay or who, but we ran over there to apologize, and they're like, "No, no, no." Anyway, they liked her. They wanted her to
Let her
sing some
keep
more.
singing, huh?
But when my dad reminded me of that, it's like, how did I forget that?
Right.
But yeah, that was one of her cute little stories she did. So she's been really singing forever.
Right.
And the last show, or maybe her first show, she said something to you about she crawled up in the little rocking chair and there was some ladies on TV singing and she was singing. Well, she left out this one part. It was a Black family of singers, which they were awesome. You know, have you ever been to a Black church?
Yes,
I
many.
love.
Yep,
That's my
Black church,
favorite.
yep.
Oh, because they feel the Lord, you know, and I really love that. And there were some little Black lady singers on TV and they were getting with it. Well, I'm in the other room and I hear, "Praise the Lord." And she was like maybe 3.
Right.
But she kept singing and then she would sing out really loud, "Praise the Lord." So I went running in there to check on to see what was happening, you know. And she was standing in her little rocking chair and she would sing and you couldn't even understand any of the words. But then she would throw her hands up in the air like the little ladies on TV were doing. And she would sing and she would say, "Praise the Lord."
Right.
Anyway, she was really getting with it.
I know we were at a of all places, we were at a bar one night. And this little Black guy got up there to the front. It was a karaoke night. And he got up there and sang like, "Oh, Holy Night." And it was about Christmas time, you know, when he sang it like and he got up there and sang it. And I was like, man, it's like somebody else was up there singing Footloose a minute ago. He sings "Oh, Holy Night" and 3 people got saved, you know, in the middle of the bar. I mean, like he was just,
hey, that's right. The Lord can be anywhere.
It was such a, now, when we were on the first time, we talked about stuff off the air, and now I get to pick on guys. Because I'm a dad of daughters, and here you are, you got the granddaughter, and you're starting to court the young men, huh? Men are coming a calling on her. May I call upon Trinity?
That's what they need to do.
They
don't
don't
get it. They
need to do that. They don't get how to date.
Have they not been taught that you call a girl up, you ask her on a date, and then you show up at her house
on time,
knock on her door,
you
meet her
door.
dad, you meet her mom, and you ask for permission to take her out.
And your dad is intimidating.
Then what you do, you actually go out.
He's mean. He just got
He is a sweetheart. And then what you do is you take the girl out. You don't take her to your house and sit there on the couch and watch TV or
you don't Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
No.
We know what that means.
You go out to eat. You take her to a restaurant. You shoot, you know, you can even take her to McDonald's, but you go get the girl something to eat.
I like to eat, so.
She does. She loves to eat. And
my daughter's first date with her husband was at a Whataburger.
There you go.
He showed up to take her on a date.
With that.
He showed up to take her on a date, and he said, "Where would you like to go eat?" And she said, "I want Whataburger." And he said, "My mom will kill me if I take you to Whataburger on our first date." And she said, "You asked me what I wanted." And he said, "We are going to Whataburger." And took her. And he said, whenever they toasted at their wedding, you know, and they said their vows and all that stuff, he said, like, our first date, whatever you want, you get. That's the way it's going to be. Took her to Whataburger, and he'll take her wherever she wants to go when she wants to go.
Well, that's good.
And
I need to find me a man like that.
Right.
Yeah, I think though, I don't know. Surely they have to be taught somewhere along the way. Come on.
But they got their work cut out. I mean, y'all are mean. Y'all are some mean little.
We are little.
Y'all are mean little hussies.
We are. Well,
Yeah.
we can be.
Well, there's a guy got a name Booger Nose. This guy's got a name Booger Nose.
Okay, well,
Okay, well,
we're not going to say any names, but Booger Nose is what we call him. But
He was walking around trying to talk to you. He had a big
Introduce.
green monkey hanging out of his nose.
and I thought he was cute, and I said, "Hey, what happened to so and so?" And she said,
You mean
"Oh,
booger
Granny,
nose.
he had a booger hanging out of his nose."
old
and I'm
man
like,
shoes?
I know. Well, but wait now. I said he didn't eat the booger, did he? And she said, "Granny, no." But she wasn't going to stick around to
Maybe
see.
after.
So I know all the boys that have been talking to her are going to wonder, "Oh, was that me? Oh my God!
And
I
it
wonder if
probably
I was
was.
the booger boy."
If you have to wonder, you're the booger
You're
boy.
the
You
booger
might.
boy.
You just might be.
I made sure I checked my nose right after y'all said that before we went on there.
Uh-huh.
I pulled my
Yeah,
phone out,
he keeps checking his nose
making
and
sure I don't. Y'all got me scared.
even smelt to make sure he had his deodorant on.
Mm-hmm.
But
Always.
he smells good, y'all. He's good.
He doesn't
I'm
have
not-
any boogers. I checked. No
I'm not wearing
boogers.
old man shoes. I'm
Yeah.
wearing my regular. I don't know what these are even called. My Western shoes.
Hey, those are cute.
They're like chukka
Okay.
boots or something. I
Yeah,
don't know
you're
what they are.
cool.
But
Yeah, you're cool.
you had the old man shoes showed up. Tell us what old man shoes are, because as soon as you said it, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, so my great grandpa, he used to wear these Velcro shoes. That's what the guy, when he pulled up, so he got out and he had a suit.
If you tell the
Well,
whole story,
not-
he's gonna know who he is, isn't he?
Oh yeah, so we're not going to tell the whole story.
Yeah.
He was dressed in a suit and he had
Well,
old man shoes.
it was not
Yes.
a suit. It was more of a button-up, nice slacks. But then he had a brown belt on with a black shirt, which that threw me off. And then he had his Velcro shoes.
She's not picky or anything, y'all.
No.
Just don't have boogers in your nose or grandpa
Velcro
shoes on.
shoes. Okay.
Hey, you know what? I bet you could probably even pull off a big old booger if you would just be nice and take her out to eat and not ask her to come sit
No.
on the couch. She's
She would have been
shaking her
sitting there
head
the whole
no.
time. Booger. Booger.
Yeah, he done gave her the yucks. She
Yeah.
says she calls it
Icks.
the icks. Yeah,
The yucks.
Icks,
icks.
you
It
know?
used to be yucks in my days. Now it's the icks.
Yucks in your days, and I don't know what it was
Uh.
in mine, but I could tell you right now.
When the lady ate the booger on y'all's
Yes.
date, you were
Yeah, we
I
heard
was-
about your little story.
Well, it wasn't even on a date. I was dating her. I mean, she was my girlfriend. And I turned around and saw her do it as I was walking down the hallway. We were walking through the house and I walked down the hallway and I saw her do it.
Wait, so y'all lived together?
No, she had it was her apartment. And I was just
you were
over there at
visiting,
it. I was
yeah.
over at her apartment, but there were mirrors. Girls love mirrors and crosses and all kinds of stuff
and
in
you
their house.
seen her
And I saw it
do
in the mirrors,
that.
and I turned around, and I went, "You just ate a booger," and she, I
You left.
yeah, I
You
was
wondered.
like-
You wondered
I was
how
like, I
many
gotta
times
go.
had she done that
Right.
before? Right before you kissed her.
right, booger lips,
Oh,
Ew,
right?
you got the
God.
And
booger
so,
lips.
my friend Missy, I had called Missy, and I was just in shock. Like I was, Missy. She had a booger. I can't date this girl. She had a booger. She had a booger.
Ew.
And like all my guy friends and stuff, I was in the Navy at the time. All my guy friends, they were like, "Why did you leave that girl? She was so amazing. She was so gorgeous. She was so." I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And she had a booger. I mean, like, ugh, you know.
Yeah, most of them guys they don't care.
I
if
got
a
the
girl eats
icks.
a booger, but
I-
you got the icks
I
from
got the
it.
icks. Yeah, but like you said, you just
Yeah.
kissed her. I don't know how many boogers she had before. You know.
Yeah, you don't want.
Why am I buying you good dinners when boogers will do it?
You don't want firsthand boogers, let alone
Right.
second.
Exactly. I
Ew.
don't. I go to the bathroom to blow my nose. I don't even want to blow it in public, like around anyone.
And that's
because-
another thing for all you guys out there that are sitting at a restaurant or even a fast food place and you're eating. Everybody around you is eating or just got through eating or fixing to start eating until you blow your honking nose.
You're honking.
Oh my goodness. Really? Go to the bathroom to do that. Don't blow your nose in front of everybody.
One of the guys that
Ick.
one of the guys I work with, he's a pescatarian, so he only eats fish, and pretty much it's a vegetarian lifestyle, but he just eats fish. Rarely eats any kind of meat, beef, or anything like that. It for his cholesterol and
Mhm.
for different things, so he wouldn't have to take medicine. But when he burps like a caveman. It is
Oh my
like sitting next to a
gosh.
pirate or something. It is like this, and you're like, dude, Shrek, go back in the cave, man. I don't want to hear that stuff.
I know, isn't it crazy? Does people not? I don't know. Maybe
They don't
it's
teach your
just
kids
me.
manners, or they just
Oh, now let me tell you this. I used to work at this. Well, I'm not going to say where I was working at, but
No, you'll tell us about assaulting someone, but you don't want to throw her under the bus. I've been to
no.
jail, but she won't throw her
Okay,
out there.
I was working out at
Comanche?
the Comanche Peak. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was working out there at Comanche Peak, and
Mhm.
there was this guy there, and he was so nice. There was a lot of nice people there. Well, anyway, I sit down. I sit down at the lunch table, and I look across, and he pulls his teeth out of his mouth, and he puts them on the table beside his plate, and he starts to eat his food. And
Nice.
I just said, why did you take? I just asked him,
Why would you take the teeth out?
why do you do that? Why don't you're fixing to eat? Why don't you keep those in your mouth? And he
Right.
said, oh, I'm sorry. He picks them up and he puts them in his pocket.
Yeah, that's where I put my teeth when I eat.
That's a lot better.
I don't need them to chew. I just use my gums.
I even told him, I said, wouldn't it be better? Couldn't you eat your food better with your teeth? He said, no, really, I do it better without my teeth. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
What else does he pull his teeth out for? You know, like he just he's like random.
I don't even want to think about it.
You know, random stuff. I'm about to tighten this lug nut on this tire. I need to pull my teeth out. You know, I do it better without my teeth. You know, I'm gonna put gas in the car. I do better without my teeth.
I have a feeling he does a lot of things without his teeth now. I don't even want to think about that.
Don't even want to think.
But he was such a nice guy.
Now Trinity takes after someone who has had dating woes. Your sister.
Christy, I love you.
Christy, you've got the greatest story.
Tatum.
Christy has the greatest story of the radio station. Sent her on a date.
Yeah.
One of those, you know,
where
like
you fix them up blind date sort of things. Yeah.
Yeah. And they picked up the tab.
Yeah.
They sent her into the restaurant.
And my sister, she's pretty.
Told her where he'd be sitting.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous, huh?
Yeah, she is. She's very pretty. She looks like, to me, I think, do you think she looks like Winona Judd?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did I meet her at the event? Was she there at?
Yeah, she's well, now she's got blonde hair. Yeah, you did.
I did. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's pretty. Anyway, yeah, that's Christy Deanne Tatum. Anyway.
So she goes on a date. She sits down across from the guy.
And he smiles.
And what did he show?
Butter paddle teeth.
Butter paddle teeth.
Yes.
Basically a beaver with yellow teeth.
Yeah, and they look like paddles, you know, like boat paddles or butter paddles, you know, that hang out, and they were covered in yellow. And she just looks at him, and I know my sister well enough to know she probably, her mouth probably just fell open, and she's like, she don't know what to say.
She got the icks.
She did. It was worse than a booger, let me tell you. Anyway, so she says, I've got to go to the restroom. So she hops up and she goes to the restroom. And then one of the little waitresses, she gets her attention and calls her to the restroom. And she says, where is a back door to this place? And she says, I have got to get out of here.
They snuck her out the kitchen.
And they did. They said, okay. And I mean, I guess the girl understood butter paddle teeth. You don't want to end up with that.
Right. Every girl huddled around her. And
no. So they got her out. She left. And that poor guy, he's probably still sitting back there at that restaurant with them little butter paddle teeth. It made me feel really bad for him.
Right.
I said, Christy,
he's still there.
You could have at least sat there and had the meal, being, you know, just
got a free meal out of it,
and then left.
And just look at everything but them teeth.
Yeah, just don't.
But it's just like the
that.
booger nose. You'd be like butter paddle teeth. But you know,
yeah, she kind of
moco is Spanish for booger. You'd be like moco. The whole time you're looking at him, just moco.
Yeah. What was that movie where the guy has the mole and he's like mole.
Austin Powers. It's one of those on Fred Savage has the mole. We'll grind it up, make guacamole. He's just saying all kinds of gross stuff with him. I love it. That's so awesome. So have you had some good dates, Trinity? Have you had guys take you for a movie, take you to dinner?
I've had a few take me on like actual dates.
Okay.
But I always sometimes they give me the ick. So
well, and you know about her little bad stories, so
yeah.
She's lost a couple. She's lost a couple of boys.
Yeah, they were good
to death. So in a really bad way. So we won't go there.
But what's your worst dating story, Babbie? Did you ever have a really bad date?
Oh man, let me think.
I can tell you my worst.
Dates. You tell us yours, and I'll be thinking of mine.
My worst date ever was I went out with a girl that my friend set me up with her. And she's a 10. And at that time, I was really good looking. I mean, I was much younger, thinner, washboard stomach. So I was like a 7 or an 8 to me. I wasn't ever going to be, this head's the size it's always been. This big head. Some girls like, no, I don't want to have kids with him. Good God, look at the size of that noggin. And that baby will destroy me. And so I out with this girl. She's a 10. She's beautiful. And I am like, there's got to be a catch. There has, like, any minute a husband's going to show up or something bad,
Was she a guy?
And no, thank God. No. God, Babbie's mind is.
I'm thinking Crocodile Dundee.
Obviously, there's something much, much worse than what I was saying was my bad date. I should be thankful this bad date went. No, but in the middle of the date, the repo man took her car. And she jumps up, says about 5 F words as she's running out the door of the restaurant. And the repo man takes her car. And it comes out that she's a stripper. She want to get out of that stripper lifestyle, but she's probably doing something else like cocaine or something. And she can't pay her bills because half of it's going up her nose. And she's hiding out from repo men because she can't ever remember to pay the car note. And it was just so many things. And I had to like drive her to her mom's house or something and drop her off. And she was like, you're a really nice guy. I wanted to give you a good impression. I'm like, yeah, you missed it. That was bad. She got her car repoed. So almost went out with a stripper. Almost.
Man.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, you technically did.
Technically, I did. But I just,
did.
I never got to install the pole in the house or the disco ball.
I was wondering what you were fixing to tell me.
No, I never got to do. Yeah, I didn't get to put the stripper pole in there or something. Or maybe I do have one. We never know. Right? Never know what I'm in there doing late at night. One of my buddies got busted when we were overseas. It's very no to have a girlfriend and not announce it to the Navy that she's a third country national. She's from somewhere else. And, they don't want you getting like where it's called a honeypot and they're trying to get information from you. He didn't announce it. And they came into his room to do an inspection and they saw her high heels by the mirror. And they were like, what's that? And I was like, what did you tell him? He goes, I told him it's my girlfriend's. I'm like, you're an idiot. I would have told him, I don't think you can ask me that question. Because sometimes I stand in the mirror and I just wear those high heels and say, I hate you guys. And I would have said anything to keep from having the NCIS investigate you.
Yeah.
He didn't come up with nothing. He
went
there.
blank.
Yeah. You got to come up with a good lie.
Oh my goodness.
Got to say something. If your girlfriend finds shoes in your house, you go, look, I had to dress up for Halloween one year as a hooker.
Yeah.
She finds the shoes. You got to be able to say something, right?
Yeah. You need to always keep something pretty handy there.
Just in case.
Thoughts,
yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bless you, Trinity. She just goes, hey, booger nose, I got to go.
She says, I'm out of here. Color me gone.
Yep. And you get hit on by all of them. I've seen you get hit on by a girl.
She did.
You had a little buckle. Little buckle bunny.
Something like that.
She's so naive. She's
like, here's my mom's number. Here's my number. Here's my office number. Here's all the other numbers that you can get in touch.
I'll buy you a Coke. And I was just thinking, free Coke. Okay.
Great. I'm going to go with her. She's going to
By the way, I'm talking about a drink Coke, not like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay.
We know what you
mean.
But
I have to take her by the shoulder and turn her away. And I'm mouthing, Trinity, she likes you.
Yeah, that's your new girlfriend.
You.
She's taking you to the movies on Friday.
She's like, do you think?
Right,
and I'm like, honey, I know. I don't think anything. I know. Yeah, she's a little naive.
It was awesome. It
was. We had a good time.
Yeah,
evidently that girl was
having a good time too.
Yeah,
she wanted to.
She followed you around like a little puppy dog.
She did.
What are you doing? You blinking at these people? You winking at them or something? You showing them, flashing them little. Let me stand into the sun so my blues.
Baby blues.
Well, stand and look at the sun so my blues shine really, really good.
Yeah.
She turns her head a little aside and she's got this twinkle. She does just a little kick to the side and it's like ding.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Then I got the girls running after me.
Then they got the girls running after you.
Yeah.
Right? And I've seen like some of them boys are tall, aren't they? You seen how tall these kids are?
She likes tall boys.
I like tall boys.
Yeah. If you're
I've tried the
I
short
don't
ones,
know.
but they are the worst because they like think that they're like something.
They got that little man
syndrome.
Right.
Sorry if any of my friends are watching this and they're short.
And the tall guys, us tall guys, we're like, I'm not doing that. That's a lot of energy. I'm not. Like when people get mad upset and they want to.
I love tall guys. Like,
little guy wants to fight you, and you're like, dude, you can't climb this high. Leave me alone.
Right.
I'm not fighting with you. This is not going to happen. You know, I mean, if I have to get on my knees and fight with you, that would be bad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to do it. No.
And this one here, though, she's little, but she's feisty.
Oh.
Yeah, you know.
That poor boy's got his work cut out for him.
Mm-hmm. It's going to take a special kind of man to handle this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because she's very ADHD.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted a TikTok today and it had that song going, I've always been crazy, but it's kept me from going insane.
Yeah.
And it said, I need a man that's gonna grin and say that's my girl when I'm doing something dumb.
Right.
Like that's what I need because
right.
there ain't no telling what I'm gonna do, honestly.
Right. Yeah. You need a guy that knows how to say no. When you're like, here, hold my beer. No. Stay
that is
right
what
here.
I have. I have my David, and he keeps me
My
in
David.
line. My David keeps me in line.
I can imagine that David was playing the guitar, right?
No, David wasn't playing anything.
He wasn't.
He was sitting beside me watching.
The big
on.
guy.
Oh, okay.
He
was. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's my
Yes.
David.
That's
Yeah, he's real quiet, real tall, big cowboy.
Knows how to say no.
And he reels me in every now and then, and he keeps me in line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he always has from day one. So yeah, we've been married about 48 years. You know, something like that. He's usually here, and I say, David, how long have we been married? You don't know. I said no, but you're always here for me to ask, and you always tell me. And I think it's 48 years. So.
My goodness.
Yeah, bless his heart.
Bless his little heart.
He's
and your dad
good.
grunts. I'm like, hey, it's good to meet you. And he's like,
yeah, he does. He's a grunter.
No, he's a great guy. He was very nice to me. But
yeah, he is.
You know, but it was just
he is. I've got a good son-in-law. He is a very good guy.
He's very quiet,
but
he's very nice.
Yeah, I wonder why he's quiet. I met all three of y'all. I know why he's quiet.
They don't.
We say
like
it for him.
Same reason.
They don't get a chance to talk, do they?
No.
Kind of like you. When I come on here, you start to talk, and I just talk right over you.
I love it.
I'm sorry. I try not to do that.
No, it's your show. It's the JoCo voice. Y'all live in Johnson County. You get to say whatever you want.
Okay.
And I had the home builder custom sheds by Keith. Keith Fromm was on here.
Right.
And he's got the voice of God. It sounds like Morgan Freeman, you know?
Yeah.
And he was talking because I got to remind myself it's Michael's show. Like, no, you go ahead and plug your brand. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that I wouldn't understand science if he didn't read it to me. He's the guy to just say molecules, man. It'll sound really, really smart.
Yeah.
Molecules.
Yeah.
That deep, deep voice, right?
Right.
So where are y'all going this coming up? What's next for Trinity King?
Friday.
No, Saturday is the rodeo.
Friday.
What is Friday?
And you're competing in a...
Oh, yeah.
Friday
in Johnson County at the Johnson County Sheriff's Posse in Cleburne. We're having a play day. It's from 7 to whenever it ends. I'm going to be doing all the events. I think I'm sitting second in that, third in the whole play day.
Barrels,
goats, roping, all of it.
From 7 a.m.?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Starts at 7 p.m.
on Friday.
And then on Saturday at 2, I will have my rodeo.
Okay.
And Fort Worth in Saginaw.
In Saginaw.
She'll be picking up her money check.
That's right.
Yeah, picking up her money.
Yeah. If you win, it's a big purse, or you're just picking up money.
I'm just picking up money from last week.
You've already.
Hopefully, I'll win again and then get another check next week.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so you pick up money for the previous week and you compete again in Saginaw.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and she's doing awesome, though. She's practicing her little honey off. So,
well,
hey,
Johnson
and if
County,
anybody needs her to come sing at their place, they need to give us a holler.
Okay. Well, Johnson County, it's been fun. This is the JoCo voice, and I'm Mike Wilshire.
Yay!
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age.
All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800